ceremony was such a big part of my life. And there again, the ancient peoples, our ancestors, ceremony was the center of their world. Every night was a ceremony, around the fire, stories. And then they would build to the next big ceremony for equinox or solstice. And when I got into the ceremonial part of it, then there again, it was another huge expansion for me. Our culture has taught us to be these minds, these heads, and everything goes on in here, but really this body has its own intelligence. And if we shut it off from here on down, we're just like a fraction of what our possibilities are. And so a lot of the traditions say it's the heart. Well, it's lots of energies in our body, but we have to balance them all, and they come to balance in the heart. And once you get to the heart, your mind is a you know, it's a organ that's useful, but it shouldn't rule us all the time. And that's kind of what our culture's become, is walking heads. Like my Hopi elders, they say, it's going to be difficult these times. You know, things are going to be happening, and you know, there's change of an age, and a lot of prophecies. You know, I've traveled in Peru. Everybody's talking about it. Different places in the world I travel, but they say grow corn, and in my system, I grow corn. I mean, I've got a jewelry business. I've got all these things I'm doing, but I grow corn, and that corn keeps me connected to the earth. It keeps me connected to my food. It makes me appreciate all the things that I eat. I'm killing things, and they're giving me their life, and I really have learned to really honor that life. And I also hunt my meat, you know, with my bow and arrow, and it's like, when you have that relationship with your food, your life changes, you know. You have appreciation for the animals that are giving away to you, and I do ceremony over them. And then my life, my artwork, you know, one of the things that was really a high point in my life, I was making things for George Harrison a lot, and he asked me to make this little shrine that he could travel with and always set in his hotel room or whatever, and kind of, it would be his center, you know, to keep his center of meditation and everything. So I did this little altar that opens up and has this little Hindu deity in there, and I went, wow, that's another dimension of jewelry. And it made me make several of different ones for different people. And then I realized that I liked a sacred space, so then I had an altar, and I kept, you know, doing something every day on my altar, just a little shelf, but a few things that were ceremonial to me. And that led to basically making a little altar that was a whole building. And I built this now sacred building that it's 3 stories high, it's a pyramid, it's a passive solar greenhouse, it has a center circle that we set and do our sacred pipe ceremonies around. I think sacred space is something that is really missing for all of us, you know, and if it can be just a little shelf with something on it that you go to every day, and you give thanks and appreciation for all that the world, our mother, has given us, our bodies, our food, you know, all the sacred elements that come to us and give us life, our breath. We need to appreciate those things, because those are conscious beings, and we all like to be appreciated, you know. If you give thanks to someone, your lover or whatever, it's nice, but if you give a bouquet of flowers, now that's creates some magic, because that's a ceremony, you're doing something. And there again, ceremony is drumming, it's dancing, it's giving offerings of food or flowers. That gets your whole body wisdom involved. It's just not your head. So when we sun dance in a few weeks, we fast food and water, and we're dancing to the sacred tree for 3 days. It is, your mind just goes, and you're all of a sudden you're in this other dimensional world where your prayers are going to the tree, and that tree is taking it all around the world to all the other trees. And so it blesses the entire world. And people come in and they're healed there at the tree. But it's also healing for the whole community that aren't at the dance. And it's also brings healing to the world. And there's people all over the world doing these types of ceremonies. We're not the only ones. You know, the Native Americans have their way, and I've been to Africa and the Himalayas and the Andes, all these peoples. they don't get pressed, but there's a lot of people that are praying for all you people out there. I mean, this is something that's going on, and it is one of the pieces of the puzzle we're all looking for, just put together, because we've kind of let go of so many things in our culture that were so rich and so big a part of why the human race survived. And the last few hundred years, we've just kind of tried to reinvent the whole human race, and it isn't working too well. And so ceremony is one of those pieces of the puzzle, and it was for me, definitely. And I think everybody, if they would just do it, the simplest little thing, maybe burn some incense, maybe pick some flowers and put it on their altar, and have this, or go out to a tree and give some flowers, or a little tobacco in the native tradition, or anything that's a way of showing appreciation for the tree, because they give us our life. They make our oxygen. Without that, we're gone. If we destroy all the trees, that's us. We disappear, you know, and there's a lot of things like that. If we destroy the ocean, you know, if we, even just maybe one species of life, say, well, you know, we don't need those anyway, you know, but those, the whole world is so balanced right now, and we have tipped the scales a little bit now, and we really have to be conscious to try to bring things back into balance, because it is a very dynamic time, and if we don't do that, I think the human race is going to suffer greatly. And there again, with our ceremony, we're bringing things back into balance that way. A lot of people everywhere are doing things like that to help, but without, if we totally say, well, you know, it's history, it's little trivial myths, and just brush it off, you know, without the Hopi elders, without this or that, or, you know, we're gonna have a piece that's missing so big that I don't think we're gonna be able to pull out of this.
For me, I've had the blessing to spend time with a variety of elders from a number of different nations. And one of the things I learned is to listen to them. And so I remember one time this elder was talking about how, you know, people say be careful what you ask for because you might get it. And she said, there's no might involved. You're going to get it. And I meditated on that. And I realized that, you know, with our limited perspective, we don't always know what we're asking for, even though we like to think we do. And so if I'm going to get it, it maybe not coming at the time that I think, or from whom I think I want it to come, or in the way or the manner or what have you. So I meditated on that, and then I just started to pray, give me the words that I need to say to make this prayer that I'm feeling in my heart. And so I prayed like that for about a year, and it felt really good. And then it hit me, you know, like in the old days, oh, I could have had a V8, you know. And it was, who loves me better than I love myself? Who knows what I need? Who's always been looking out for me? The Creator, the everywhere Spirit. So why do I even need to ask for anything in that, you know, for that particular time? So what I considered was, maybe what it is that I need to give thanks and just recognize that maybe I just can't see it yet. So thank you for giving me the eyes to see and the heart to be grateful for what you're giving me. And so I've been with that for many years. And then lately it's been, you know, I really only want what the Creator wants to give me. And just look at what is manifesting, and whatever it is, whether I think it's good or I think it's bad. Because like Shakespeare said, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. And so just to look for the gift in everything, and to welcome it, and to recognize it, and to honor that, and to honor myself in that way, it's been really powerful. And so, you know, I'm aware of the secret and all of those different things, and there, you know, lots of really good teachings and supports for people, and yet that hasn't also felt like me. It's felt like trying to put on somebody else's clothes, and kind of a shoulding, well, why aren't you manifesting that? You should be manifesting that, and that kind of a thing. And then just coming back again to the simplicity of the teachings of the elders and how that works within me. So I watched The Secret, and I'm aware of the teachings of it, and there's a lot of really good information in there. And yet I kind of used it as a way to beat myself up, because why am I not manifesting it? I should be doing it, and what am I doing wrong? And then I realized that I could just bring myself back to the simplicity of the wisdom of the elders and be with those teachings and allow things to unfold and manifest as they will. And also to know that if the dream or the vision is given to me, that it's a gift from the Creator. And so it's okay for me to ask for help around that, but not to have a big ego about that I should be manifesting in a particular way, that I can allow it to unfold as it will.